Welcome to the Atlas Sidewalk Sale. We're playing 20 questions with
Gary with Pelikan.
All right, let's get into the questions. When I say fountain pen, what pen do you think of?
M1000.
How did you get into pens?
I always loved pens. For the first time I saw pens when I was young, and I bought like a $5 ballpoint that seemed like an enormous amount of money to spend for a ballpoint, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And then as I got into my 20s, I just would go to look at pens. I was always excited about them. And so now, yeah.
What was your first fountain pen?
First fountain pen was a Rotring 600.
Okay. What's your current daily driver?
Where is it? M600 Art Collection Glauco Cambone.
The one that Alice just bought all the stock of.
Exactly.
What's your favorite ink?
My favorite ink is the Golden Lapis. It's the ink of the year for 2024, and I love it. I write cards with it. I write envelopes with it. It's awesome.
Vintage. Favorite brand?
Favorite brand's Pelikan.
Vintage or modern?
Modern.
Do you swatch all your inks?
I do.
Cola ring fan?
Yep.
They're the way to go. Are there any pens that you daily drive the same ink and pen combination in?
I don't have it in it right now, but I love the Orange Delight with the Mandarin ink in it because it's a demonstrator model, and when you put the orange in it, it just looks like an orange pen.
Do you keep your nib writing samples so that you know how every nib writes?
I do not. I should, but I don't.
What's a pen you wish you could see in person?
See in person? I don't know. I'm always at the pen shows. I see all the pens. I don't know that there's pens. I did see a pen, though, that was a 1929 Pelikan 2 weeks ago that somebody had. Pelikan invented the piston in 1929, and their first pen that came out, and he had one from 1929. And I never thought I would see that pen, but I just saw it 2 weeks ago.
What's your grail currently?
I don't have one. I don't. It's like it would.
I think it's hard when you work for a pen company to have a grail.
You know what? The Pelikan M1000 rod and pen, which was the Red Infinity. That one I love.
Yeah, that pen's come up before in this. What's a pen you would recommend to a beginner?
So anything on the 200s. When you look at an M200, it's a steel nib, so you're not spending an enormous amount of money, but the Pelikan steel nibs just write so smooth and they just work. You don't want somebody to start out with a pen and then have problems, and I just think they're just so dependable, so easy. The nibs just unscrew, they're easy to clean, so I think it's a great starter pen.
What ink would you recommend to a beginner?
The 4001 blue is just, it's been being made since the early 1900s, and it's been unchanged. It's just so dependable. I love the 4001 blue.
What advice would you have for somebody wanting to try out fountain pens who might be intimidated by them?
Go to a store like Atlas. If there's a store that you can go to anywhere where you live and try them.
What filling mechanism do you think is most interesting, regardless of if you actually like to use it or not?
So I only use piston-filled pens, or I use a piston converter if it's a cartridge pen. That's the only, I don't know, I feel safe with it.
That's fair. What's your preferred nib size?
Well, it's interesting because it depends on the size of the pen. As I get bigger, I go with a finer nib.
Oh, interesting.
They tend to put out a little bit more ink because the ink feed is bigger, and so I feel that on a larger pen, sometimes a fine is like a medium in a smaller pen. At least with the pens I have, I've noticed that. But I would say fine if I had to choose one.
Is there a style of nib you love or the look of, but would never actually use?
There was a triple broad, and a friend of mine has one, and I tried it, and it wrote like a Sharpie. It was so big. I would never want it, but it was so cool to see the size of the nib.
Yeah, I tried one yesterday, and I went, oh, this is really fun, and then I went, ooh, I can't afford this.
Yeah.
Do you use the same paper? If so, what paper?
I do. I love I believe the pronunciation is Nemosini. I've heard it pronounced several different ways, but I love the dot pattern on this particular one. This size is perfect. I love this paper.
All right. What is your least favorite ink or ink color family?
Anything pink or light. I don't like light colored inks. I like dark. Recently, Pelikan brought back the blue black, and it's such a dark blue. I love that. I like dark colors.
All right. Well, thanks for playing 20 questions.
Thank you very much.